Hello and welcome to the Dungeon of Bad Decisions. This is the 16th installment of Anna Attempts to Explain Things. I'm your host, Anna, and this week's topic is character creation. A long time ago, when my hair was shorter and my life was a little shittier, I wrote a script for a character creation video. I then proceeded to not film it, and instead posted a 9-minute video of tips for DMs. This, here, now, is the character creation video I promised 4 years ago, with some revisions and updates, of course, so, here goes nothing, I guess. Character creation is something I enjoy greatly. As a writer and once aspiring novelist, as well as somebody who's always told stories since I could talk, that never changes. It is very much a core part of what I love so much about D&D. The role-playing aspect is something that took me a little longer to get into, but that's another story. That may be a video for another day. Okay, so the first time I ever really got into a character was when I playtested 5th edition in 2013 maybe? With John of the school group, my old college group. He helped me create Jack the Giant Killer. Jack was a human whose tongue had been ripped out by a giant worshipping cult when he tried to take revenge on the giant for destroying his village and his family. I've remade Jack in Pathfinder in 3.5 as a fighter, a warblade, and in what I like to think of as his final form, a barbarian titan mauler. When I played him in the old Monday Night campaign several summers ago, I wasn't allowed to keep him tongueless, and when I played him as a warblade in a very short-lived Pathfinder 3.5 homebrew campaign, the whole party automatically knew sign language. As I played all these versions of Jack, I got to know him better and better, and guess what? Jack's an asshole. He goes into a rage every time he sees the giant and tries to kill them, and doesn't play well with others, and in an especially memorable moment in the old home campaign group, i.e. a moment I am not allowed to forget, while I was playing with them, he attacked Larry, the half-ogre village idiot, and lost badly. My defense, we were level 1, and ogres are badass. For obvious reasons, I don't play Jack anymore. Another favorite is one some of you may have heard of / remember, Danny Sherrington, Boy Witch, from the Superhero Sigil campaign with the old college group. He was the first time I ever got killed. He just wanted to do the right thing, even when it got him disowned and, separated from everything he'd ever known. And then there was Iska Feo, one-eyed gnome sorcerer of Hatchie's Carrying Crown campaign of the old online group. She was insane, which would be obvious to anyone who remembers her. But she was the first character whose background I've ever gotten so thoroughly fleshed out. She was very much a part of Pathfinder's canon lore, official lore, as it is a thing that Hatchie preferred over creating his own worlds, and I'm still very attached to her. Okay, so to get to the point, how do I do it? How does character creation work, I guess? Personally, I can't just flip through a handbook and find something I want to be. I have to come up with a concept first, a craving, I guess. Need to have a craving for a certain kind of character. Iska was born for a craving from something small and curious and fey. Jack was created for my love of fairy tales and the fact that there was a giant killer prestige class in the 5th edition playtest. Danny was the 7th son of a 7th son who had never known his mother, been mostly ignored by his father, and just really wanted to do the right thing and be noticed for it. He was born from my own craving. Something that I suppose a lot of people have, to be a hero. I don't, that's sort of faded over the years, but I still have made more than one character whose, key aspect was that they just wanted to do the right thing, or at least one of their key aspects. And while he died before he could become very powerful, he did get a part of what he wanted. A family that would miss him when he died, take vengeance for his murder, and try desperately to bring him back. I guess, too, is a combination of my craving for a hero and the desire that I think everyone has to attend their own funeral. I still have that, I want to see what that's like. As for details into my process, why don't we go with Iska as my example, as she's the most well-documented, and I recently converted her to 5e as a level 20 archetype NPC for an online campaign being run by Matt of the current Monday Night group. We're playing, the group where we play, the Skulls and Shackle group. On the back of the second page of Iska's character sheet is the first thing I wrote about her. Something small and curious, sarcastically fey. A gnome seems best, but what class? I originally created Iska to be Danny's replacement. Did I? I don't remember that. Anyways, before I learned the Titan Mauler subclass and made Jack's final form. Iska sat in the back of my D&D binder for nearly a year before Hatchie invited me to join his campaign. By that point, What I had was a gnome sorcerer, 62 years old, 2'11", with pale lilac hair and dark blue eyes. That's what her original eye color was. I was trying to remember her eye color while I was remaking her for Matt, and all I had, I'd erased it because we had an encounter with Desna in Hatchie's Carrion Crown, and so I had written down was pale silver because fucking Desna. And so I had no idea what her eye color was. So I spent like 10 minutes pestering Matt for eye colors. I had a drawing of her on the back, which I shall insert here. A general sense of her personality, and the words "an impending sense of doom" written into her deity slot, because Pathfinder character sheets have a slot on the top bit for deities. Something that 5e doesn't have, which I find interesting. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that filling my craving and rolling up the character is only half of my process. I don't really know who they are until I discover them in play, which I guess a lot of people are like that. It's why Todd of the Saturday Night group refuses to let people start at any higher than second level, no matter how high the rest of the party is, because he wants people to discover their character through roleplay, even if, It's the same as when I make a character for a story. I have to write them before I can really know them. And as I do so, they begin to grow, almost become an entity of their own. You might have heard or read about authors who talk about their characters like real people, doing whatever the hell they want and the plot you had planned out, much like being a DM. For me, it's a lot like that. It's like meeting someone new and having a general sense of who they are: height, gender, hair color, body type, snippets of the past, the shape of their sense of humor, and then getting to know them, talking to them, sharing your stories and histories and so on. And just as it is with real people, sometimes you just click and you get to know everything there is about them, and all their hopes and woes and opinions and politics and what turns them on and what turns them. The fuck 2014 me. And anyways. And sometimes you don't click. And all you ever learn about them is their general sense of history and what they look like. Neither of you ever seems to be really comfortable together, so you get tired of the awkwardness and go your own way, either because the campaign ended abruptly, or you had to leave and come back, or that character died and you need to make a new one. And of course, sometimes they're the characters that you might be able to click with, but due to circumstances out of your control, death or the group dissolving, or you had to leave the campaign, you never get to really learn who they are. And there's nowhere else for you to play them again. In the Magical Girls campaign, run by Michaela of the school group, I had a drow fighter named Baestra Deafin, shy and socially awkward. There was a blossoming friendship between her and Taylor's 16-year-old witch girl, Zia, but because of the fact that I transferred to another school in another state, we never saw it fulfilled. Bay, the nickname came before the meme, don't judge me, okay? Don't. Was very much a drow created outside of the stereotypical parameters set by traditional Pathfinder lore, as my friends in the school group refused to acknowledge such things and encourage anybody playing a drow to, make up their own version of drow society and culture, within reason, obviously. I don't have another group like that, or I didn't at the time of this writing. I do now with the Monday Night group, which is glorious. And, 2014 me. And then I continue that sentence with, I doubt I ever will. Oh, I was so depressed. Besides, Bay was very much a creature designed for that ridiculous campaign. And there is no other world that could really ever see her in that much I learned about her. And now I'm getting maudlin over a fictional character, but that's really not a new thing for me. Especially if it's not a character I created, though I have written short stories and cried. Writing is fun. Anyways, I guess that's all I really have to say about character creation. It's a lot of fun, and very much a large part of what I enjoy about gaming in general. I know my process is probably a little different from yours or your friends, so leave me a comment and tell me a little bit of how you do it and, why. Questions and suggestions for new videos or for expansion on old topics are welcome. If I get enough of these, I might do a response video about it.
Do it. You want to.
Anyways, so if you somehow got here from not Tumblr, if you don't know already, I have a D&D blog. Check out the dungeonofbaddecisions.tumblr.com. There's a link in the description. Apparently I anticipated forgetting to put that in there because I was hi cat. Well, this video is long and also a disaster. Anyways, there are quotes and stuff and recordings and stuff from campaigns I'm playing, which right now is just Skulls and Shackles, and some from suggestions. And anyways, subscribe for more bullshit and poor judgment. See you next week. Roll 20s, y'all.